Now begins the story of an RPG that turned into an RTS, that turned into a third-person shooter, that turned into a first-person shooter. If you're a woman, no man will put their penis anywhere near that train wreck. Morpheus414 here to kick off the first video in our series of celebrating Halo's 15th anniversary. Now, of course, we're going to start off with the original OG Halo, Combat Evolved. And I'm going to be playing what I consider to be my favorite mission out of the whole group, 2 Betrayals. I'm going to be playing with remastered visuals, classic music, of course. I'm going to have the Iron Skull on as promised. Hopefully things will go well. I've been having a couple of hiccups over the past few days trying to get this recorded. But hopefully the 5th time will be the charm. If not, then I'll probably have to turn Iron off, for my sake. Let's spend a few minutes talking about how I got introduced to the Halo series in general. My cousin and I, we never really saw eye to eye. We were always trying to beat each other at everything we had.
No, nothing.
Whenever he had Pokemon Blue, I had to pick up the red copy. Whenever he got a PlayStation, I got an N64. We were just always competitive. But in 2001, when I picked up an Xbox for my birthday and found out that he was getting one as well, I considered that a personal victory. But some credit has to be given where credit is due, because he was the one who introduced me to Halo, albeit rather abruptly. One day I was sitting in his room, and then out of nowhere he burst in, threw a controller at my chest, put the game on Legendary, and skipped everything.
Cortana.
I've spent the last 12 hours
So, going through the cutscenes, they skipped all of them. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what the hell to do. I didn't realize Cortana existed. She was
Do you have any idea what that bastard almost made you do?
But once I got Halo, I went through it at my own pace, and I can see the whole, of course, but Halo 1 also holds a place in my heart.
I shall purge you at once.
You sure that's a good idea?
I never had a chance to play System Link
I have the index.
back in the day when Xbox Live wasn't a thing,
Enough.
but I used to play split screen with my friends and family all the time.
Reactivate Halo's defenses.
And once Halo PC came out,
You
everything
have
changed.
no idea how this ring works, do you?
When I was a senior
Halo doesn't
at my high school,
but it
I don't know if other schools like yours participated in it, but once a year they would have an upperclassmen event known as Senior Skip Day, where seniors, got to stay home or do whatever for one day out of the year. Once I reached my senior year, I was more than excited to go. But my mother, who was actually a teacher at that same school I went to, she wasn't having it.
More or less.
So
Technically, this installation supposed has a
she made me
maximum
pack up my stuff and get ready for school. But I had a special trick up my sleeve. Instead of putting in my homework, my books, my folders and such, I stuck a backpack filled with my Xbox, all of my spare controllers, and every multiplayer game I had available, which of course Halo 1 was at the top of my list.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go right
Sorry, I
now.
got a little wrapped up in this cutscene here. But I took my Xbox to school and started hiding out, looking for places I could hide without having to go to school and not go home. I couldn't go home since I didn't want to be caught, but I was stuck at school for Senior Skip Day. Luckily, I found one of my old English students. I found one of my old English teachers. He taught me well, obviously, by the way I'm stuttering. But as it turns out, his class was composed of mostly seniors, so he left his classroom open for the public, I guess. So I snuck over to his classroom, hooked up my Xbox, and we had massive 4-player mayhem on one of those big school projectors.
We can't let the monitor activate
It was
Halo.
one of the
We have
most
to stop him. We
enjoyable
have to
days
destroy
I've ever
Halo.
had at school.
According to my analysis of the available data, I believe the best course of action is somewhat risky. An explosion of sufficient size will help destabilize the ring, and will cut through a
The
number
fun
of
only
primary
increased
systems.
though once
We
I
need to
got
trigger a detonation on a
into
large scale, however. Starship's fusion reactor.
once the
shows
Halo
critical
PC
fusion
was
power.
created.
I'm going to search what's left
Good
of the
friend of
government
mine found a
battleground
way
to see
to
if I can
install
locate the Pillar of Autumn's crash site.
Halo
If the ship's
PC
fusion
on all the
reactors are
computers
still
in the
relatively
network.
intact, we can use them to destroy Halo.
So it was absolutely fun getting to play Halo PC on any computer in the whole school. Of course, at one point, the faculty found out about it and deleted it, but hey, who didn't have a copy of Halo PC back then? So, as soon as somebody deleted it, somebody else would just pop right back in. I don't know if they still have it on computers today. I highly doubt it, but that was also an extremely fun time. Playing Halo 1 for the first time was definitely a new learning experience. I think the last first-person shooter I had ever even played between then was GoldenEye and Perfect Dark, of course. Those games, you can carry all the ammo you want, all the weapons you want, power-ups everywhere. But this took on a more realistic approach. The combat was evolved, so to speak, by removing all of the extra niceties that most FPS players take for granted. Forcing people to make decisions as to what weapons and vehicles and all other sorts of gadgets they were going to use. It made the game more fun in its own, I don't know, minimalistic way. And that's where Bungie's classic 30 seconds of fun popped in. And that's really what it was. I mean, 30 seconds of fun that lasted throughout the entire game.
I haven't located the crash site yet, but we need to buy some time, in case the Monitor or his Sentinels find a way to activate Halo's final weapon without the index. The machinery in these canyons are Halo's primary firing
to
mechanisms.
Betrayals,
They consist
that's
of
definitely
3
my favorite
phase
level,
pulse generators that amplify
because of what
Halo's
they did
impact
with
and allow it to fire
Bungie.
deep into space. The power levels are enormous.
It's kind of interesting
Can't
that
even begin to calculate the pulse's range.
it's kind of interesting that
So,
even though
to
the
damage
second
or
half of
destroy these
Halo
generators, the Monitor will need
is
to repair
just
them before
the
Halo
first
can
half
be used.
backwards,
That should buy us some time.
Bungie made sure
I'm
that
marking
we
the
didn't
location
experience
for
it
this
the
pulse
exact
generator
same
with the
way.
nav point. We need to move in and neutralize the guns.
And I always found that to be most admirable. And Two Betrayals is the best example of this because even though you're going through the big epic battle of Assault on the Control Room, you're fighting all 3 species at once. Covenant, Flood, Forerunner, and
That's the pulse
getting to
generator.
witness battles like that is what I consider to be one of the best parts of Halo 1.
Objective accomplished. The pulse generator has overloaded. Scanning.
In fact, back when I had Halo
Generator's
PC,
central core is offline.
I would turn on, trainers or mods or whatever
should
to put
commandeer
on
one of those banshees.
permanent
We need it to reach the
invisibility.
pulse generator in time.
So that way I could go out and actually witness
The
these
second
large
pulse
battles
generator is
between the Flood
located
and
in
the
the
Covenant.
adjacent canyon. Move
And
out and I'll mark
it
the
was
target
fantastic.
with a nav point when we get closer. That's the way to the next canyon.
Anyway, speaking of the flood, what an amazing reveal that Bungie pulled through. I mean, the flood as a whole probably was one of the biggest, twists for a video game out there. Nobody expected it, and it was just executed so well. To this day, I still think about the Jenkins camera. And the chilling experience of watching the whole thing unravel firsthand. The only enemy the Covenant feared. And of course, fighting the flood like that brought up new ways to go against enemies there. Because of course with the flood, most of the time once you killed them, they just get right back up. And that would always be one of the most horrifying things. When you kill a flood enemy, you walk away, and you hear a gurgle and turn around just in time to see your screen flash blood red. And of course their kamikaze manner is just also terrifying. Infection forms don't help that much either. Those little buggers. There'd be so many of them all showing up on the radar, you couldn't tell what was just a harmless infection form walking around, and what was a flood combat form with a shotgun ready to blow your head off. I have to admit, I think the infection forms were, it might have possibly been the coolest thing about the flood. You know, these little critters running after you, and that little pop they make when you manage to finally melee one. Sword elite, and I missed. At least I got his health down. That is the most important part. Not to mention the jump height is about to show. Yep, right here. It is both scary and remarkable seeing them jump that high. I remember the first time I saw a flood, elite form I think it was, jumped into the air and just smacked the jackal down right in front of me. And when I saw that, I just said, wow, I gotta start watching this stuff more often. That's when I became less of a participant and more of a spectator. But of course, dealing with the flood has its limits. Hate the ones with the rocket launchers. Case in point. think this one blew himself up. Jeez, that was close. But yeah, every outtake video I've ever seen, no matter who it is, whenever I see this hallway, I know exactly what happened. The rocket guy blew him to bits. Carrier forms were interesting to deal with too. It's amazing how silent they can be. These little fat sacks of infection forms. Slowly walking up. You don't even notice them. See them fall over and swell up. And the look on your face when they blow up. And of course chain a plasma grenade next to it and then sends you flying. I may hate rocket flood the most. Damn it, I always miss that shot. I may hate rocket flood the most, but none terrify me more so than the camouflage one in the mall. Never ever go into that room anymore. If I need rockets or shotgun, walk in, grab them, walk out. I don't stay for anything. I think I'm going to save my rocket ammo and just attack this banshee head on. And it's of course if the other rockets let don't get to him first. Well, I missed the stick, but I landed the boomstick. He's dead, that's what counts. I'm so glad that Bungie made sure not to put any more camouflage flood into Halo. That is something we did not need. I'm being extra cautious here because I don't want to get blown up. I'm glad. That was a fun hobby that me and my co-op partners used to do. Popping infection forms and seeing how many we could get off of one melee. It was stupid, but it was something to pass the time. I have to admit, I enjoy the anniversary treatment that 343 Industries gave the first Halo game. I'll admit, I wasn't really crazy about it at first. You know, this was right around the time where everything was getting remade. And, like I said, I didn't really like the idea at first. But it ended up becoming more enjoyable as I watched all the enhancements and everything they put together. I wasn't crazy about the Skywalker sound treatment. I mean, as great as the 60-piece orchestra is, I feel that's just a bit much for, music as simple and as classic as this. Sometimes all you need is a MIDI keyboard. Sometimes you don't need all that stuff to go with it. Simplicity can make things easier. In this area here, I like to wait for the flood to come to me, so I have less chance of being scared out of my head. There's one right above me, yep. Oh, and another thing, I can't believe I forgot to mention it. The community in general, the Halo community, pulling off jumps and tricks and tips and finding out so many things about Halo 1 alone. It's just incredible that these people are still finding new ways to get to old places or getting new places that no one's ever been to before. 16 years after the game came out. Well, I shouldn't say 15.
Okay, let's take care of
Be
the next
careful
one.
here. I don't want to get blown up by the Wraith or squashed by the Banshee or squashed by the Ghost. At one point I had blown the Banshee up and it almost fell right on my head. So yeah, I'm trying to do my best to be real careful. But yeah, the community for Halo has been so great. I've learned so many things. Of course, most of the stuff I haven't really attempted because I'm not that dedicated or crazy. I did, however, make it to the bottom of the assault, the entry chamber in the assault of the control room. I also made it to the bottom of the pit of Silent Cartographer. That's pretty much it for tricks. I never really figured out how the whole warthog jump thing works. And I gotta tell you, every time I see a launch, it's just absolutely amazing. But I never figured it out. But giving a graphical facelift to Halo 1, it was a pretty hot subject, but it still looked really well done. Some of the stuff they put in here is just amazing. And of course the music to go with it. Just made everything so special about this game. I wasn't really a fan of the whole Kinect integration thing. I didn't feel that was necessary. Caught that guy just in time. But I will say, what might be my most favorite thing about Anniversary is the terminals. Getting a perspective on Guilty Spark's life over all those all those thousands and thousands of years, being forced to live and work alone for so long, it really makes him a lot more identifiable and relatable. Sorry, that's my phone. We might be getting calls at, what, 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, the terminals were just so amazing to look at. All of them. I'm gonna stay back here for a little bit. Too many flood with rocket launchers. And it sounds like the flood all one. I hate all the fact that all the little section forms show up on there. I can't really tell who's left and who's not. Too many for my liking. I know that much. Oh, crap! So, that might have just been the luckiest thing you've ever witnessed. Second luckiest, we'll be getting out of here alive.
That did it. The pulse generator overloaded. One more to go.
Yep, time to go. Go, 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 go. Don't worry about the race, don't worry about the rocket floods, just get the hell out of here.
Pillar of Autumn. She put down 1,200 kilometers upspin. Energy readings show her fusion reactors are still powered up.
343 Guilty Sparks
That tunnel leads to the next section of canyon.
made the whole game just
made
made his behavior completely understandable. You can't live by yourself for 100,000 years. Bungie. Too many rocket flood, dude. I don't care how old this game is. You have too many of them. Oh, they didn't rush the door. Interesting, they normally do. Still full on rockets and shotgun. And of course the terminals gave audiences more opportunity to fall back in love with Tim Dadabo's magnificent voice. Nice stick! When the flood are much further away, it's a lot harder for them to kill you with their rockets. Of course, auto aim with infection forms makes things a little bit harder, but I can't believe I missed that. That's everybody. And everybody's sitting there saying, "Oh man, you were just wasting through your ammo." but one of the things I love the most about Halo 1, pretty much any weapons you picked up, you were never in too much danger of running out of ammo. There's always somebody around the corner with another weapon of yours. I hated walking this whole part. I forgot who it was on HBO, but two guys used a Banshee to push a Warthog through the tiny little crack in the door, and they drove through this entire last section of two Betrayals, including using a bunch of grenades to launch a Warthog all the way up to the third terminal, or third chasm beam thing. That was amazing. I've always wanted to do that with somebody. I love this part here, and I hate this adventure to that me. I'm gonna sit here for a minute so I don't get blown up by everybody. Going back to Halo Anniversary, making the Anniversary map pack for Reach was very interesting. I mean, obviously they couldn't recreate Halo 1's multiplayer, even though they ended up doing it anyway for this, right? But they couldn't build a whole new engine from the ground up. They all wipe each other out? Hopefully it is. But yeah, the maps were cool. Crazy about the whole doing Timberland. I wasn't really a fan of that map. But you know, Prisoner, Damnation, Aim High. It was fun. Make sure nobody comes after me for right now. Switch my shotgun, my flood killing shotgun, for a sniper rifle. As you well know, a sniper rifle is completely useless against the flood. Watch out for those guys. One thing I consider lucky, sometimes they will blow themselves up. Time to do a wheelie. I haven't hidden back here in a very long time. I think the Wraiths already know that I am here. Yeah, I used to hide back behind those rocks until the day I crapped my pants. See, as it turns out, when enough Covenant are killed in this particular area, reinforcements spawn, and guess where they spawn? I sit there watching the fun until I hear a startled yelp, and there were 2 hunters, a gold elite, 2 cloaked elites, and a whole mess of jackals. I screamed the whole way out. Definitely a traumatizing event. So I'm going to use this opportunity to take out this Wraith right over here. And I hit the tree. Textures weren't really that good on the anniversary remake. Sometimes you'd see trees and shadows where there were none. I'll end the backpack reload from Mike Miller. And still alive. The greatest Halo 1 single player of all time. Out and eventually sneak in. Get out alive, and bam, you get to watch a free battle. I dedicate this section here to all the people who managed to make their way off this bridge down to the bottom to do the assault speed run. There was no way I was able to do it myself. Hours and hours that I still can function it properly. However, it looks like that Wraith is getting a little bit overzealous. So I think I'm just going to hang out up here. A little bit out of range. Try and blast out some of these enemies. That was close. Too close. Sitting here holding my breath. When do they make these guys so damn accurate? Right here. There they are. See that? That's the group that made me shit myself. I was standing right in front of them, and they were right behind me. Whoa. Hit an invisible cliff there. How fast the sentinels can tear you down. So I guess it'll be time to get out then. glad I made it through this, finally. And since we've reached the end, I guess we can talk about the
Final
last
target
reflecting
neutralized.
thoughts.
Let's get out of here.
Cutscene plays. You know, I'll always hold Halo 1 dear to my life,
No, that'll take too long.
despite,
There's
you
a
know,
teleportation grid that runs throughout Halo. That's
the
what Mark
glitches, the
I learned how to tap into
multiplayer
the
lag,
control
the
center.
easy mod ability on
Unfortunately,
PC.
each jump requires a
I don't know, it just seemed to make it
measure of energy.
part of the fun.
Something tells me I'm not gonna.
That was the charm of it,
But
I
I'm sure
guess.
can pull it from your suit without permanently
And
Needless
it
to say,
helped
I think
us
we should only try this once.
grow as the biggest video gaming community on the entire planet, and it helped Bungie learn to polish for their next game, which is coming up.